Hello everyone, this is Manohar Reddy, Department of Cybersecurity, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today I am going to discuss about the concept of problem solving on DDL and DML commands in DBMS. So DDL and DML commands are a purely language commands for the database management system. So DDL commands, so data definition language commands. So which are nothing but data definition language commands. These are used to define the database structures, such as to define the relations or tables for a database along with their attributes. So it defines the commands for the definition of database structures and such as to define the relations as well as tables along with the along with their attributes. And here there are different types of commands out there. One is create, second one is drop, and third one is alter, fourth one is truncate and rename. So these are all DDL commands. It defines the structure of a table. So create command, which is used to define a new relation in database. And drop, it is used to remove or eliminate an existing relation in the database. And the alter, so alter command is used to modify the existing relation in the database. And truncate, the truncate command is used to eliminate all the instances of the table. Thereby, it preserves the outer structure of a table or relation. So, it is used to eliminate the instances of the table. Rename. So, rename command is used with the alter command. It is used with the alter command either to modify the name of relation or its attribute. So it is used to alter command. It is associated with the alter command to modify the name of relation and its attributes. So how we are going to define the data definition language in the schema of definition. So SQL DDL defines the schema of a relation using a command create table. So how we are going to create? So create table name, attribute 1 and value 1, attribute 2, value 2, up to depending upon the types of values. And it must be inclusive with the constraints also. So integrity constraints, primary key constraints, any key constraints. And to drop the table relation. So R is the relation name. So you can mention a relation or either table. And alter table name, add A to D, add additional of columns. So add of column name which you want to add. So if you want to add one more column like contact, give the column name and a number. Truncate table name. And rename old table name to new table name. So to rename the existing table to new table. You can take it as a rename table. So here the syntax for creating the table. So create table students. So here student is the table name. ID is the attribute. So these are all attributes. So here attributes, you need to specify ID is the attribute and int is the data type. So attribute A1 and the data type 1, A2. And similarly name is an attribute 2 under data type 2. And similarly age is attribute 3 under data type 3. And similarly address is attribute 4 under data type 4 along with the constraints A1. So this is all the structure which you are going to define with the help of this DDL command called create. with the help of DDL command called create. So this is the way you can create the table with the help of the syntax. So now the table is created. The table is created with the table name students and ID and name and age and address. So this is all the columns that you have added to creating the structure of the table. So now ID and name, age and address. These four are the columns that you are added. And here ID is the primary key attribute. ID is the primary key attribute. Primary key attribute. And name, age, address are non-prime attribute. Age, name, address are the non-prime attributes. And here the primary key attributes ID and name, age, address are the non-primary key attributes. And to creating the structure as like this. And drop table students. Here drop is the command to drop your table. So the table students is called what? Students table. That is students table. If you want to drop the table, then drop table students. So now the table is dropped. Again alter table students. Add student underscore location varchar of 20. So this is what we have to modify the structure of table. We have to modify the structure of a table. So now ID is there, name is there, age is there, address is there. But I want to add one more column called location. One more column called location. So the location is varchar and this location is added here in this table. So that means the structure of the table is modified. The structure of the table is modified by adding one more column location. So now the truncate table employee. So truncate table employee means the employee table will be deleted. Employee table will be truncated. I'll come to the rename. Rename students to coding underscore students. That is nothing but the students table. The table name which is students is the table name which is having students is going to be renamed with the table name called coding underscore students. Coding underscore students. So now the table name is what? Coding underscore students. And what columns it contains actually? The columns ID, name, age, address are previous columns. And the location is what we added. What we added with the help of alter command. We added with the alter command. And here the DML commands. So data manipulation language command. Data manipulation language commands. The SQL commands that deals with the manipulation of data present in the database belongs to the DBML or data manipulation language, and this includes most of the SQL statements. So here the first one is what? Select statement. So the select statement is used to retrieve the values from the table. So you can retrieve the values from the table on basis of condition. So here the select statement retrieves all the values from the table. So if you want to retrieve all the values from the table, indicates that star operator. If you want to retrieve particular values from the table, then indicates what columns you want to retrieve. So you need to mention that what columns you want to retrieve the data. So column 1, column 2 up to column n, which you want to specify the columns and retrieve the data from the table. So to retrieve all the data, all columns data, you need to specify star. If you want to retrieve particular columns, you need to specify that columns which you want to retrieve. So this is the way of writing the select statement. And select update statement. So statement is used to change the data of the records held by the tables. So whenever you want to modify the data of the records, you need to use this update command. So which rows is to be updated, and it is decided by the condition. So to specify the condition, we use where clause. To specify that condition, we use where clause. So here you can see the syntax: update table name, set column name equals to value 1. So which column you want to modify. So that column modification of the column you need to specify. column n equals to value n, where condition, where condition. So here example is what, update students, set username equals to being human. So here the username is what, being human as the updated name, where student id equals to 3, where student id equals to 3. So whoever having the id equals to 3, for that the name, updated name is to be updated as being human. The delete table. So the delete statement is used to delete rows from a table. Delete statement is used to delete rows from a table. So if you want to delete one row, you can delete it. But if you want to delete multiple rows also, you can delete. So if you want to delete particular row, you need to specify on condition. You need to specify on condition which you want to delete. Or else you can specify star to delete all the rows. To delete all the rows. So if you want to remove a specific row from a table, you should use where condition. So specify where condition to delete only specific row. Or else if you want to delete all rows, you now need to specify where condition. So here see, delete from table name where condition. Delete from table name where condition. Here delete from student where SID, student ID equals to 3. Student ID equals to 3. And SQL insert statement. So insert statement is an SQL query, is used to insert a single or multiple records. Insert a single or multiple records in a table. So there are two ways to insert data in table. Two ways to insert data in a table. So by SQL insert into statement by specifying column names without specifying columns. You can insert values. You can insert values in two ways. One is by specifying column names. What columns you are going to insert in. So what columns values you are going to insert it, or you want to insert all column values by specifying all columns or specify columns. All columns or else specify columns. So by SQL insert into select statement. By SQL insert into select statement. So inserting data directly into a table. So how you are going to insert? You can insert a row in the table by using SQL insert into command. By SQL insert into command. So how you are going to insert? Insert into table name values of value 1, value 2, value 3. So here no need to specify any type of column names. You can directly give the values. Insert into table name values of. Insert into table name values of. Values you must be specified. When you are specifying the values, the characters is specified with single quotes, and words specified with the double quotes, and the numbers specified with the normal without having any quotes. Numbers are specified with the without any column. The second method specifies both the column name and the values which you want to insert. Insert into table name, column 1, column 2, column 3. So what columns you are going to specify and what values you are going to insert. And insert into students, roll number, name, age, city. Values are what? 1 Abhiram, 22 Allahabad. So here mentioning that all column names, as well as mentioning that values also, to that column names. Values also to that column name. So insert into customers, values of 6, Pratik, 24, Kanpur. So this is the way you can specify you can insert the values. Insert the values by specifying column names, or without specifying column names. So this is the way you can insert the values. So once again we revise the topics which we discussed in this session. So here there are two types of commands which we are going to discuss. One is what? DDL commands. So DDL commands which we discussed here. The create command, create, drop, alter, truncate, rename. So 5 commands are discussed. And create used to creating the table, drop used to drop the table, alter used to altering the values, and truncate used to truncate the table, and rename used to rename the table. This is the schema definition that we are mentioning. So how we are going to specify attribute 1, data type 1, attribute 2, data type 2. So drop table relation, alter table relation, add of altering table, truncate, and renaming the table. Renaming what? Old table name to new table name. This is the syntax for creating the table, how we are going to specifying creating tables and all, and dropping the table, altering the table, truncating the table, renaming the table. And DML commands. So select statement, update statement. So how you are going to select the columns. So columns, how many columns you want to specify, how many columns you want to retrieve, and update how many way you are going to update the column names and the values based on the condition which you are specifying, and delete table insert statement. So how you are going to delete the values based on the specifying condition, you are going to delete the values, or else without specifying you are deleting the values, and inserting values also. So specifying column names, and without specifying column names you can insert the values. So by specifying column names you need to specify what columns you are going to inserting and what values you are going to insert. Without specifying means you can insert the values directly. You can insert values directly. So this is all about to DDL and DML comments in SQL. Thank you all.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.